Well, hey now, everybody. It's the Rob from Kiss 106 and 103gbfrocks.com. Here with my tag team partner in podcasting, the busiest man in podcasting, Conrad Thompson. Eat your heart out. It is Jerry Valeri. Good morning, Jer.
Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Post to Post. Allow me to apologize. My schedule has been absolutely maddening all week. Now, some of it was my fault. Some of it wasn't. Wednesday, there's not a lot I could do. I had been scheduled. There's this thing. We'll start with this. It's called the Grange Fair. Have you ever heard of it, Rob?
Yeah, when I used to work in State College Radio, I had to go. I've been to at least one as like a radio station.
The Grange Fair is the largest fair encampment in the country. It's the 144th. It is not just like a county fair or a state fair. It is a fair where over 27,000 tents, campers, people camp at the fair for like 13 days.
What's wrong with people?
They live at the fair. Now, I'm not going to make fun of this fair because there are a lot of listeners, a lot of people in this area that's just like they were raised with this. I mean, these tents,
we've got
Civil War tents. Dude, they're like old school tents, and people will move. Not even a mile down the road. They'll move refrigerators, beds at least, coffee tables, rocking chairs. They put up picket fences. They hang lights. They go crazy for this thing. And they're so nice. I mean, they treat me like I'm Ozzy Osbourne when I'm walking around the fair. They're my people. They love me when I'm there. But the radio station is a country station, so of course, by the way, so much. There's a lot of fat there, too. A lot of fat stuff going on there. I don't starve at the fair. People feed me. It's nice. But my salesperson effed me in the A. I got the old road dog BFing.
the BF before the pump handle slam?
I got the BFing and no pump handle slam. Ever. It starts Tuesday. First of all, without getting into money, broadcast costs a little bit extra. When we go out and we do remotes, it's just, it's an extra. It's called a talent fee. You get a little extra. With the Grange Fair, the salesperson kind of didn't charge him talent fees.
Oh, he just forgot that part?
She just kind of didn't do it. Didn't forget that part. Just didn't add it on. And added on a little bit, but not enough for all the appearances they wanted for all the stations and all the people. So there's like 50 appearances with 30 talent fees worked in. So now all of a sudden everybody's getting like two-thirds of a talent, half of it's not great, okay? Don't want to boil into that. But what I'll say is I was scheduled to do a broadcast from 4 to 6 on Tuesday, and on my way to the broadcast I find out I've actually got to be there until 10. Because
oh my God!
I've got to introduce the band that they didn't tell me I'm introducing. So the broadcast ends at 6, and then I twiddle my thumbs for 2.5 hours till 8:30 when I introduce the band, and then I've got to do like an intermission.
Oh my God!
Wednesday, I find out I've got an appearance to do, and it's 10 a.m. my time. That's when we do the podcast. I can't budget, but I think I'll be back at like 11 o'clock and be able to catch you at like 10 o'clock your time. It'd be good. Then I find out I've got another broadcast that day, and I'm there at the fair till 3 that day.
Oh, my.
And then yesterday, I have a broadcast later in the day scheduled, and that's going to be fine. It's not going to impede Post to Post at all, so I'm going to be there until 5 o'clock yesterday. Then I find out I have a broadcast before that at 11. So I'm at the broadcast. So all of a sudden I'm there from 6 to 10. I'm from 4 to 10:30 the one day. I'm there from 10 to 3 the next day. And then yesterday I was there from 11 to 5, and I just couldn't post to post, and I'm dragging ass.
Well, thanks for being here today. There's the explanation as to where we've been all week.
Listen, I don't know if that's a funny story, but if you're in radio people giving you the BF, that is not rare.
Definitely not. And I'll say this. So that
she didn't even show up to the broadcast.
Well, that's definitely a radio thing. Your Grange Fair sounds a lot like our fall festival in how excited people get for it compared to how dumb it is. And I'll say this, our schedules sound a lot like your schedule out at the Grange Fair, except for we don't get any talent fees.
Yeah.
So
I mean, listen, and I've said 100 times, it's not the amount of time I'm at a thing. If they wanted me to broadcast the entire week, 24 hours a day from the Grange Fair, that's fine. But you got to let me know. I just want to know.
Don't keep inching me along. Yeah, no, I understand, pal. I really do.
Just deliver the pump handle slam.
Don't road dog me before the pump handle slam.
Quit road dogging me, pal. I've had it. So here's the issue we're running into. At least for me. I watched SmackDown, but it feels like I watched it in June. So like I forget.
I was about to say the same thing. All right, I've got a run sheet in front of me, and I think we all. I mean, the end was pretty significant, right? So I remember.
The end was. I remember three things from it, but and the end was one of them for sure. I remember the mixed tag match being announced with The Miz and Maurice and Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella. I remember hating Brie Bella's pants. I don't get it with the high waistband pants anymore, girls. I don't get it. I don't like it. It gives you a fupa. Like I hate it. Enough with the fupa. I remember Jeff Hardy losing his mind and doing the swanton. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, after all the reports are saying he wants to work that out of his repertoire, all we see are these crazy swantons. And by the way,
super painful ones on the edge of the ring apron.
And you know what? That one was even like that one. I feel bad saying this because it must have been on the scale of like painful swantons. That was probably on the higher ends. I didn't think that looked good because he didn't get any height. It didn't have like enthusiasm behind it. It just seemed like he was phoning it into me. I felt bad.
It didn't look good, but you know it hurt like hell.
That's what it wasn't worth it to me.
His foot caught the rope, and it was sloppy. You're right.
Yeah, it wasn't worth it, that one.
He won't try it again now when Kevin Owens gives you the old power bomb under the ring apron. That looks good. I'm sorry. I'm sure that hurts like 90.
A lot of moves on the apron look more brutal. And you've got that small field of play to work with. Like I like moves on the apron. The Jeff Hardy one was probably just either it didn't look good or it was a bad decision or all of the above. But yeah, it didn't work for me.
You know I'm getting old. You know I love hardcore stuff. I really do. I've always enjoyed extreme matches. But it's almost getting too much for me at this point. Like ring apron moves, they just make me cringe. When Ciampa and Gargano are doing stuff on hardwood, I have a hard time looking. It just hurts me. Look, some of them I'm like, oh my goodness. Ooh, that's bad. I'm getting old, I think. I feel like I'm turning into Bruce Pritchard. Like it just seems dangerous to me.
We're all turning into Bruce Pritchard, pal.
Hey, pal.
Mike actually called into the show. One thing we were talking about this morning was like Rob-isms and Matty-isms and like stuff that we say a lot. Like I do Hey Now. And
Hey Now, sure.
Yeah, and she's got some ones too. And Mike called in and was like, thanks to you and your podcast, I say pal all the time now. I was like, yep, I knew that one was coming somewhere because after your trip to Evansville, it's been nonstop pal.
And I mean, pal, you and I, and it happened organically. It was in the car ride from Evansville to Louisville.
Kingdom.
And just pal, and then that whole day at the park, it was used to answer questions. It was used to ask questions. It was used to show excitement. I mean, I'd be like, damn, pal, you want some ice cream? And you say, damn, pal.
Oh, pal. Ice cream great.
The whole way down the water slide, I could hear you screaming, oh, pal! Pal!
So that's where that came from. And yet, it was probably a mistake for us to have listened to a Bruce Pritchard episode on the way to Louisville.
That's what it is, pal. You know, I actually call people that aren't like you in real life.
Same.
I call Kelly pal. I was calling all the kids pal on the flag football field last night.
Every caller I'm hanging up with, thanks, pal. I can't. I can't stop. I like it. So let's start at the end. I feel like just like Raw, the big thing happened at the end, although I think anyone who knows wrestling a little bit probably expected that title change. Since it was reported that Eric Rowan suffered an injury.
I hadn't heard the injury, so this was a huge surprise to me. And now congratulations to New Day. They have now been champions as much as Alexa Bliss.
Exactly. What is it, 5 times?
5 times.
Yeah, 5 times, pal. And then I mean, I didn't really pay much attention. It's been so draining this past week with the NXT, with SummerSlam, with Raw, and then SmackDown. It's like, come on, pal. Like, leave me alone.
So much wrestling.
It felt so nice to just watch anything besides wrestling Wednesday night, last night. You know,
and I wish I could give a little more time to NXT. Like after that pay-per-view, like I bet NXT's show was pretty good, but I just couldn't watch it.
No, I know what you mean. I really do. Let's see what else happened on SmackDown that we can talk about. Give me 1 second. All right, so Miz and Daniel Bryan saga continues.
What do you think about adding the girls in? I know you predicted it, and you predicted it correctly. But what do you think about it?
It's like, hey, we've got this great feud that we're all real excited about. What if we really make it suck?
What if we slow it down? I have to look at it from a perspective of maybe.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe they're slowing it down. You know, they want to give us the mixed tag before they give us. I mean, they probably are working to WrestleMania, but mixed tags are the worst. And they're going to come out on top like they always do. Like, I don't know how you feel about them in general. But Nikki Bella and Brie Bella, the Bella twins, are a thumbs down for me. Like they just don't do it for me anymore. They never really did in the first place.
Yeah,
and I'm just waiting for Nikki to stop getting pushed because she's no longer banging John Cena.
And I still don't even know what I make of all that. I still don't know. I know everyone's reporting that they're broken up, but I still think that there's something there. I don't know.
I think they're working this, pal.
I don't know. Maybe. What about Becky Lynch explaining her actions against Charlotte Flair?
Are they trying to make her a heel? Because no one wants to boo Becky. They want to boo Charlotte.
They will when they're out of Brooklyn, I think. I bet you next week she'll get her heat back.
Okay.
Thoughts? Anything?
My thought was that. My thought was she's making a mean face, and she's attacking Charlotte, and they're cheering the hell out of her. And so she's not getting the heel heat I think they expected. It's switched on them.
I had one of my favorite lines all year happened at SmackDown. And if you give me a second, I'll find it because I wrote it down.
Please.
By the way,
I think I missed it.
Third week in a row, no signature at the start of SmackDown. Positive again.
They must have done away with it. I don't know why.
Why only on SmackDown?
Because it's everywhere else.
So did you catch the bar and the club backstage?
Yes.
Did you get the joke that they floated about Ed Sheeran?
I didn't. I saw the club and I watched them do the thing with the glasses and they were doing that and I just didn't get it. I didn't get it.
I bet you a lot of people didn't get it. And to me, it hit me in a few seconds like, oh my God, I totally get it.
Oh, please explain it because maybe I was going to bang on it. I was going to say I didn't enjoy it because I didn't get it.
Oh my God. I thought it was so funny. If you guys didn't get it, this is what it was. So, who was it? Cesaro goes, even Ed Sheeran doesn't like the club. He prefers the bar. The first line of his big hit, Shape of You, goes, the club isn't the best place to find a lover, so the bar is where I go.
Oh my goodness!
Do you know that? You must know that song.
I know that song. I hear it all the time, but I didn't put two and two together at all.
How did wrestling fans never make a meme about this? The club isn't the best place to find a lover, so the bar is where I go. That's what he's talking about. How funny is that? Now that you know that, that's hysterical.
That's a good line.
That's really funny.
It's a good line.
I thought line of the night, maybe line of the year for me. I laughed so hard once it hit me as to why he said that.
Might have been a little too smart.
Well, for someone who
it was too clever for me.
Yeah, I thought it was so funny. Props to Cesaro. I loved it. And those are my only two notes. I'll give you the rest of the lineup. Stop me if you want to do it. Randy Orton defeats Jeff Hardy. We talked about that via disqualification. There was
I'll say this, that ear spot, I'm sure they're going to overdo it a little bit. But again, it gave me the heebie-jeebies. And this time, Evan was beside me watching it, and he was like, I'm going to barf. I'm going to barf. Like, it just looks so gruesome.
Brittany's like, it doesn't hurt at all, right? And I was like, stop. Everyone's screaming but you. Stop being weird.
How's she not screaming?
I don't know.
He could put a soda can through his ear. It doesn't matter. You don't put You don't put your fingers into people's holes on TV and not have me scream.
The Bar and the Good Brothers face off. Is the Good Brothers? That's Gallows and Anderson. I don't know why they're calling them the Good Brothers.
Well, that's because they're the Good Brothers. They also go by the Good Brothers.
How have I missed that?
Oh, that's one of the things. It's like you're not a good brother. You're a nerd. Good brothers, nerds, and the Bar. That's what they are. And remember, or in the club, I mean. The bar is where I go.
The bar is where I go. Ed Sheeran, he prefers the bar. It was just so funny the way he said it. Peyton Royce over Naomi. I'm sure you don't want to talk about that.
God almighty.
Rusev and Lana defeat Andrade Cien Almost and Zelina Vega.
Poor Rusev. That's all I have to say about that. And poor Andrade, because I think I don't know. I feel like that feud should have more heat than it does. Those two are talented. What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. And a lot of rematches from the night before, or from the Sunday before, I should say, 2 days before. Shinsuke Nakamura does a selfie promo. Now that he's dispatched Jeff Hardy, the U.S. champion declares this country, the United States of Knock America. That was literally the only thing that he said, according to this write-up.
Here we go.
And then AJ Styles is at a loss for words.
That was cool. That was good. Brutal Joe. Hey, Wendy! He's coming off like Triple H banging Kane's dead girlfriend. Getting so creepy.
Yeah, you saying Wendy Styles is the new Katie Vick?
Yeah.
And then looks like last and maybe least, Carmella demands a rematch.
Poor Carmella.
Anytime they use the 3 words general manager Page, I get it's like putting your fingers in Jeff Hardy's ear holes. I get the same reaction whenever
it's like finding out you have a 10-hour broadcast at the Grange Fair.
Yeah, 2 hours into it. All right, well, you know what, we got it for it. I'm sorry it was late this week. Jerry apologized.
I am sorry. Here's my question for you, because this was the big cliffhanger. Which show was better for you, SmackDown or Raw? I take Raw. I take Raw over it. I know it's not something they can help, but while SmackDown was a pretty good show overall, they just didn't have a moment like Raw did. So I'm taking Raw all day long. And the New Day winning the championship would have meant more to me if they'd done it at SummerSlam.
Well, they didn't know they would have to do it. The plan was to keep the straps on the Bludgeon Brothers, and then they got hurt at SummerSlam.
I get it. I know what their problem was. I'm just saying what I didn't like about it.
No, I thought that actually between the AJ stuff, between the tag titles changing hands, and I dug the Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy stuff, it still couldn't compare with the Shield reuniting and turning heel, I think.
That was such a crazy great. That was just a fun wrestling moment of 2018.
So I'll give it to Raw also. Anything else you want to get to before we wrap things up?
That's pretty much it. I figure in about 5 minutes we're going to find out I have to go to the Grange Fair, so I got to go.
All right, man. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We'll be back on our normal schedule, I believe, next week here on Post to Post.
See you later, pal.
Bye, pal.